Let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. I will call to order the virtual meeting of the Town of Farmington Historic District Commission for Tuesday, April 20th, 2021 at 4:00 p.m. Mr. Secretary, if you would please read in the entire public notice into the record, that would be great. We may need to zoom in here a little bit, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Okay. You want to read all of them in?
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Paul Frega, application for temporary certificate of appropriateness to replace brick walk along the side of house to front door at 30 Colton Street. Next one is Michael Cheshire, application for temporary certificate of appropriateness to pave driveway at 22 Mountain Road. The next, Bing Shu, application for a temporary certificate of appropriateness to enlarge patio space and add pergola at 144 Main Street. Next one, Omni Mechanical, application for temporary certificate of appropriateness to install 2 outdoor AC condensers at 16 Colton Street. And the last one is Firm LLC, application for temporary certificate of appropriateness to replace bow window at 772 Farmington Avenue.
Okay, thank you very much. And I believe Sally just joined. Sally, can you hear us okay?
I just got in, thank you. Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you. So for our first agenda item, Mr. Frega is here on behalf of 30 Colton Street. Mr. Frega, would you please state your name and address for the record, and then please proceed with your presentation.
Okay, my name is Paul Frega, 30 Colton Street, Farmington. Just trying to replace a walk that's going to the front of the house. It's been there for 25 years or so. And then continuing a path to the side of the house, which is where the porch is. That used to be a, so this is the existing, I guess you can see it now. That's the existing path to the front door in essence. And it's going to be in that brick that you see there. And I think there's a close-up in the next shot of the brick.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, you know, the kind of brick that you can buy now. It's rustic red or something is the color. And that's just going to continue. If you go down a little bit more and to the next, going to go around, yeah, maybe one more because that's so tight. But the house is like that. And this walk will go from that corner around to the front there. And there was in the past, I should say, there was a stone walk of crushed stones that went around that way, but I took it out a number of years ago. And now I'm just going to replace it with the existing brick in the existing pattern. So that's the presentation, I guess. I mean, unless you have questions. So it looks sort of like that. That's an old picture when we came to the Historic Commission to remove that front door, which is no longer there.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to open it up to questions and comments from the commissioners, and let's start with Miss O'Leary.
I don't have any questions. I think it will look nice, and it seems like you're going to continue with that brick, the same brick that comes out from that door. It's going to go across the lawn. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
along
that's going to
along the bushes there. The bushes.
Okay.
That are there.
Yes, that's all I have to say.
Okay, Mr. Bombara.
Yeah, hi, thanks. Yeah, I see where you're replacing the existing brick. Certainly, I'm not sure you would even need a permit for that, but you know, you are extending it into a clearly visible area around the house. I think it'll look fine. I certainly have no objection to it, and I thank you for coming in and taking care of this formality.
Thank you.
Ms. Hatzenbuehler.
I don't have any questions. I think it's going to be a nice update to the house and so forth. So I think it'll look very nice.
Okay, Mr. Sanford.
Looks good, no questions.
Mr. Calciano.
Everyone's got all the great comments. It's appropriate. So I'm in favor of it.
Okay, Ms. Gemsky.
No, I think it'll look nice. It's good.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Okay, hearing none, we will open it up to any public comments. And if anyone is on from the public, please raise your hand, your Zoom hand, and Catherine will unmute you.
Again, I'm looking for raised hands within the Zoom function. I don't see any yet. We'll give you a few more moments. No raised hands, Evan.
Okay, hearing none, can I please get a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion that we approve the application as submitted.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
All right. Thank you. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
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 All opposed, please say aye. Hearing none. Any abstentions? Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Frega.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right. For our second item, Mr. Cheshire is here on behalf of 22 Mountain Road. Mr. Cheshire, would you please state your name and address for the record, and then please proceed with your presentation?
Yeah, I'm Michael Cheshire. I live at 22 Mountain Road here in Farmington. This is an application to pave a driveway. We're one of 3 properties in the historic area of Mountain Road that does not have a paved driveway. 33 Mountain Road, 49 High Street, which has a driveway on Mountain Road, and 24 Mountain Road, our neighbor to the east. Those are the only properties remaining. In this view, you can see our property on the left with a stone, currently a stone driveway, and the property on the right with a paved driveway. Our sidewalks are paved, and obviously the highway in this area is all paved. So we're just trying to conform to the neighborhood. And that's the request.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to open it up to the commissioners for questions and comments. And let's start with Ms. Hatzenbuehler.
I guess the question or point of clarification for me is looking at the drawing. Which property you are on the right here or the left?
We're on the left where the stone driveway is.
Okay, like it's hard to see the stone. So that's the one that you would like to have paved.
Yes.
I see it better. Okay. And the one to the right is paved, and that's fine.
Yep.
We're just looking at your property.
Yep.
Okay. Just point of clarification.
Okay, Mr. Sanford.
Mike, same footprint as the existing, right?
Yes, same footprint.
I think it'll look great. Thank you.
Ms. Gemske.
No, seems reasonable to me.
Okay, Mr. Calciano.
Not a problem. It falls within what we accept, so no problem.
Okay, Mr. Bombara.
I hope that your neighbor on the right can work on his house a little bit more there. But
We've been working on them. It's a struggle, but we've been working on them.
probably the two most well-kept houses in the neighborhood. Yeah, and the other joke I guess I was going to make was I wonder if anybody's ever tried to go straight from High Street into your driveways or not. But
Yes, we've had a few of those. We are a direct shot from High Street.
yeah, I'm afraid that when you pave it, it might actually be worse. But any rate, obviously no problem. And thanks for coming in again.
Ms. O'Leary.
Nothing to add.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Hearing none, we're going to open it up to the public for any questions or comments. So please raise your Zoom hand and Catherine will look out and we'll unmute you.
Checking the attendees, we have no hands raised yet. If you're interested in participating in the public hearing, please raise your hand in the Zoom function. And there are no raised hands.
Okay, hearing none. Can I please get a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion that we approve a temporary certificate of appropriateness for 22 Mountain Road with the installation of an asphalt driveway within the same bounds of the existing stone driveway.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say aye. Hearing none. Any abstentions? Hearing none. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Cheshire. You're all set.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good day. All right. For our third item, Mr. Shu is here on behalf of 144 Main Street. Mr. Shu, would you please state your name and address for the record, and then please proceed with your presentation.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bing Shu. My address is 144 Main Street in Farmington, Connecticut, and I am applying to enlarge the back patio space and add a pergola to the back of the in the back of the house.
Okay.
So if actually it might be easier if you go to the picture. Yep. So that's the current back of our house. You really can't see it, I guess, unless you're looking through on Winchell Smith past the Historic Society, those two cottages and that big tree there. But currently there's just that tiny little patio space. So if you go back up to the proposal, essentially what we're proposing is there's the deck that's on the left-hand side. And then we're going to essentially expand it into the closer to the garage with the addition of a pergola. Those big circles are eventual tree plantings that are unrelated. This is just part of the landscape architect's plans. So essentially, it would expand kind of in between those two windows in the garages for the garage, and come out probably another 2 or 3 feet.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to open it up to questions and comments from the commissioners. Let's start with Mr. Calciano.
Looking for that aerial view somewhere.
Yeah, so if you go down to the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
This one?
Yep, that's it. Yes. Yeah, this is the one that had extensive renovations, and they work well with us, the contractor who owned the house. I don't have any problems at all with it. It looks like a nice added, aesthetic pleasing patio and pergola. So, do you have a picture of what the pergola is going to look like, by the way?
It's a Walpole pergola. It's just a white standard pergola by Walpole. I think the Ken from Kenmore, who's done some work around the historic district, is going to do the project. So it should be in line with a lot of the. I know he did the big house on Mill Pond. He did a lot of their landscaping. So so I think it should be in line with a lot of the other stuff.
What's the size and the material? I assume is wood.
It's AZEK, and it's 12 by 12. I think it's 12 by 12 or 11 by 11. It says 12 by 12.
12 by 12.
I wish I had a picture of it. Are the ends of the open rafters? Are the ends going to have some kind of a little design on the ends, or what?
Yeah, it'll be decorative. Yeah.
And the actual joists of the pergola are going to be AZEK? Because I didn't know they make that kind of material for that size. Because that looks like it's what, 14 feet or so?
I think it's going to be 11 foot high.
Right. But
yeah.
The width and length?
It's 12 by 12.
12 by 12. Okay. Is that, I can't see that. Oh, there it is. I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. 12 by 12. Okay. That's all I have.
Okay, Ms. Gemske?
No, I think Jim's questions added additional information. It looks good.
Okay, Mr. Bombara?
I see there's a sitting wall. What's the material that the wall is going to be made out of?
It's going to be bluestone as well, I believe.
Well, it says cap.
I'm sorry, though, it's going to be a bluestone cap. I don't. Oh, shoot. The guy told me the name of the stone that's going to be in the wall. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's going to be some sort of cut stone. Let me just see if I can Google and remember. I'm sorry, I honestly cannot remember off the top of my mind. I can tell you it's not going to be, we have some brownstone, but it's not going to be brownstone just because it's been, I guess it's hard to find enough brownstone that's local that's going to be a good enough for the wall. But give me one.
And then
Yeah, sorry, I don't know the name off the top of my head.
okay, and then the material for the patio, is that going to match what's there, or?
Correct. It's going to be a multicolored bluestone, which is what's there currently.
Okay. Then I'm looking, so where it shows the pergola, I guess, is where the pergola is going to be. So that's the answer to that. Are you extending the deck or no?
No, we're leaving the deck unchanged.
Okay. All right, no further questions. Thanks.
Okay. Ms. O'Leary?
I have no questions.
Ms. Hatzenbuehler?
I have no questions either. I think it's, again, a nice addition. All these renovations are nice.
Okay. Mr. Sanford?
I don't have any questions other than the ones that have already been asked, which are, what's the wall made out of and what's the pergola look like? I think both of those details are something we really need to know before we can vote on it.
Okay, is there any way I can email a picture of that to right now so that we can, so everyone can see?
Email it to me. Yeah, email it to Rutherford, SRUTHERFORD.
I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Rutherford, RUTHERFORDS.
Yep,
Yep.
at farmington-ct.org.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now.
Do you have the image of the pergola as well?
Yeah, I'm putting up the image of the pergola right now. I'm saving it to my.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be blocked by the tree and by the fence, yeah.
I sent the picture of the pergola, and then let me give you a picture of the wall in ones.
Looks like everything's behind the fence on top of everything else, so.
Correct. Yeah, everything's going to be behind the fence as well. So, not much is going to be visible from the main street. Did you get my pergola picture?
Oh, nice.
Very
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
I think he was gonna use the stone too. Okay.
Yep.
And then let me try this.
While Bing's doing that, if I can just ask our experts, Jim and Ted. So the material on that, you're okay with the ASIC will be fine?
Yeah, I think what they do for those top rafters is they're gluing 3/4 boards together to make it appear like a thicker board, and you'll never know the difference. And yeah, I'm satisfied with the material.
Same here, yeah. It's got a good presence, it's thick enough. I was worried that it was too thin, and that sometimes looks odd, but I see what you're doing there, so I'm good.
Yeah, I think that looks good.
Thank you.
All right, I think I sent you the picture of the intended material for the wall.
Great, thanks. Get it. I'll put it up on the screen.
I think I'm almost certain it's fieldstone, but let me confirm. Were you able to did that picture go through? Okay.
I'm waiting for Shannon to add it to our files. So
Oh, okay.
it might take a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in her office trying to save it into the.
Okay,
file.
yeah, it's fieldstone is what we're proposing with a bluestone cap.
We might as well just wait and see the photo.
Yeah.
And it'll be adding it now.
So dramatic watching Shannon's cursor.
So their email or no? Yeah. She didn't receive it.
All right, let me send it again. I'm sorry. Oh, it said I guess I was blocked.
The size of the image. What's the size of the image?
I resent it. 33 kilobytes. It's not big.
Oh, it goes through. That should be fine. Oh, here we go. It just popped in on my email. All
Okay,
right, give us a
great.
minute.
Thank you. There we go. That's it.
Yeah, I'll be behind the fence and the trees.
Okay. Thank you for both those photos, and thank you for getting those up here. Do any other commissioners have any other questions or comments regarding this application? Okay, hearing none, we will open it up to public comment and questions. If anyone from the public is here and would like to comment or ask any questions, please raise your Zoom hand and Catherine will unmute you.
So Ann Newberry, I am allowing you to talk. If you want to unmute yourself.
I did, I think.
All right, we can hear you.
Okay, good. So as an officer of the Farmington Historical Society, I and another board member, we were at the Historical Society and I already knew about these plans for 144. And we walked towards the back of our property and there's no problem at all. We totally support this plan.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to add comment or ask a question?
I see no other hands at this point in time.
Okay, thank you. Hearing none, can I please get a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion that we approve the application for 144 Main Street as submitted.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I could second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
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 All opposed, please say aye. Hearing none, any abstentions? Hearing none. The motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Shu. You're all set.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you. All right. For our fourth agenda item, Mr. Campanelli is here on behalf of 16 Colton Street. Mr. Campanelli, would you please state your name and address, the address you're representing for the record, and then please proceed with your presentation.
Thomas Campanelli, owner of Omni Mechanical Services, representing 16 Colton.
Thank you. And if you could please just explain a bit about what the application is for and what the plans are, that'd be great. Thank you.
Homeowner would like to add central air conditioning to their home. The only way to do this in the while keeping the inside as intact as possible is to put a system in the attic for the second floor and a system in the basement for the first floor. Hence the two small outdoor condensers that'll be placed on the right-hand side of the house. If you're looking from Colton, the units are relatively small. The largest one is 31 by 31 by 29 tall, and the other one is 26 by 26 by 29 tall.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, is there another, oh, there's a schematic. Okay,
yep.
We'll open up to questions and comments from the commissioners. We'll start with Ms. Gemsky.
Is this a continuation from a previous meeting? Or is this?
Not that I'm aware of.
A new
Okay.
application.
No.
Oh, there was another one that wanted to do, so you can see it from Colton, is that accurate?
If you look hard enough, yes, there's a bush and some shrubbery in the way.
Okay. And there, how much space total would you say that those two units are taking up?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What's the total space, square footage that those units will take up in the?
Well, 31 by 31 is like 2.8 square feet, and 26 by 26 is like 2.2 square feet.
What's the
So,
distance in between?
It'll be about 8 inches.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And are there, you said there's shrubbery on the side, but not in front?
correct.
Okay. Now, do you know if there are plans by the homeowner to put shrubbery around that or anything?
I know they had a landscaper out there last week doing design plans, but I'm not sure what his scope was, if it was just, you know, rejuvenating beds or redoing any grass.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Sanford?
I walked by this house and looked to see where these were gonna get put, and I think that's probably the best location of any they could have picked. You know, the other side is really obvious from the street. So I have no further questions, just I think that's the best spot that you could have picked.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hatzenbuehler?
I have no questions at this time.
Okay, Mr. Bombara?
You can see how tight the lot is. I agree with what Ted said, which is it's probably the best spot. And, I walk over there a lot, and you don't really see that side of the house. I don't think it'll be very observant. And then obviously, people need air. So I have no objection.
Mr. Calciano?
I don't have a problem with it. I think it's nicely tucked in. There's not a lot of choice there, but you're not going to see it, so I seem to be okay with it.
Okay, Ms. O'Leary?
I have no questions, and I think it will be fine.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments from the commissioners?
Actually, Evan, Shannon, I'm sure I know the answer, but I'll ask. The neighbors that abut would have gotten notice of this. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so knowing the neighbor, terrible direction to the west or north, if they had any concerns, I'm sure they would have shown up. So I assume that's another indicator that this is not too obtrusive.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll open it up to the public. And if you have any questions or comments, please raise your hand and Catherine will unmute you.
Again, I'm looking for raised hands within the Zoom function. If you would like to have an opportunity to have public comment, please raise your hand. And I am seeing no raised hands.
Okay, thank you. Hearing none, can I please get a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion that we approve this application for 16 Colton Street as submitted.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, please say aye. Hearing none, any abstentions? Hearing none. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Campanelli.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
You too, thanks. Okay. For our fifth item, I'll wait for us to get caught up there. For our fifth item, Mr. Hunter is here on behalf of 772 Farmington Avenue. Mr. Hunter, would you please state your name and the address you're representing for the record, and then please proceed with your presentation.
Yes, good afternoon all. My name is R. Bruce Hunter. My address is 772 Farmington Avenue in Farmington.
Thank you very much. And if you could just please provide some information as to what you're looking to do.
Well, as stated on this page, briefly, there's a bow window that goes back from when Fred Jones replaced the existing, it's on the photograph, the close up there, it's 9 across, 5 up, and Fred basically did it. Not sure what was there before, but it's at the end of its life. There are some areas that Hans Winkel, who's in there, demonstrates that there's some gaps that are probably a half an inch at this point. And you can see that the upper portion is starting to go as well as the bottom. And, you know, if you were to zoom in there, you'll see that I'm not sure what the point is, but or what you call the bottom lintel or support is rotted and deteriorated. So we're lucky it made it through the winter. I consulted with Frank Sanford of Sanford and Hawley. We did our best to match the existing and consistent with what it is that's across the street. This will be as described down below on the last page. You know, with the specifications, this will be using the same number of window panes and the same 9x5 pattern. The mountains will match the existing. It'll be ivory clad aluminum. The brick base will remain. The small green roof will remain. Okay.
Thank you very much. We'll open it up to questions and comments from the commissioners, and let's start with Ms. O'Leary.
What is the material on the top there?
Can you be more specific in your
on
question?
the top of the window? On the top of the window, is it wood? That green or dark?
The whole outside will be ivory clad aluminum.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Sanford?
Bruce, the sash are fixed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No, I have no further questions. I mean, that's consistent with things we've approved elsewhere in the district. So I'm fine.
Yeah, it's similar to what's right across the street that was put in the old Wrights building.
Okay. Mr. Calciano?
Yes, the materials appear to be appropriate. Items that we've approved before in many houses. The overall design is great. It's a beautiful building, and we're happy it's in the historic district. And thank you for keeping up the good work.
Thank you.
Mr. Bombara?
If you just go to the picture for a second, Shannon, of the existing, sorry. So
Catherine's
Bruce,
actually driving today.
what's that?
I said Catherine is driving today.
Oh,
Catherine is.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Catherine.
You're
Okay.
welcome. Assuming the lead role with the Farmington Historic District.
Okay, thanks. And nice to meet you, sort of. Bruce, is that the existing is bowed? Is there like that? It looks like on the bottom. Is there like a brick section that bows out as well?
Yes,
yeah,
it's that was done also by Fred Jones way back when.
Is that coming off?
No.
So there'll be sort of a
brick?
lip or something. If
Yes,
you will?
it's going to be another lip, and the lip itself, I'm going to attempt to have it clad also.
With copper or?
No, it'll be aluminum, same color.
Okay, and then I guess the same sort of, so obviously that top to the window, existing window, that won't be there either. It's going to just be flush into the wall.
I'm not sure if I understand the question.
Well, there's some kind of, yeah, where the cursor is. If that is sticking
I can't,
out-
you're going to have to move it down, please, Linda, because I can't see what's being referred to here. Okay.
Right. So that's the cap for the existing bow.
Yeah,
window.
that cap will still be there. It's a small
Oh.
roof.
Oh, it's a roof.
So it's going to just stick out, but the window
Yeah.
will be flush.
No, the window's not flush. The window will, as you can see on the schematic down below, that's the last page, where it says casement bow.
Oh, it will bow. I'm
See that
sorry.
there is it does come out. It's not,
Yep.
it's not flat. We
Okay.
did our best to have it so that there would be an apparent, it's not a true curve, because then you'd have to have individual lights, and you'd never end up, because your moltens would be too thick, it would never work. Which we explored that as well. It doesn't work.
Yep, got it. I missed that. I thought this was going to be a more of a flush window, but
No, I'm sorry. Yeah,
my
we were,
mistake.
no,
I think it
Frank
looks
came
good.
up with a couple really good solutions. This is the best of them.
That's an old window then, if it was Fred. Did he own that building?
No, it was owned by Swanton or Swanton. My father bought it in 1950.
Okay.
This was the first firehouse in the town of Farmington, and was also the blacksmith shop for a period of time. So to stick it in the eye of the state of Connecticut traffic division, I put it and happily put it in the Historic District Commission.
Well, we're certainly glad that you put it in the Historic District. I have no further comments on it. I think it looks fine. I thank you for pointing out that it's a bow. I missed that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hatzenbuehler?
My only thought is it'll be a nice addition and finally getting it put together nicely. Looks like it's about time, so that's good.
Okay, Ms. Gemske?
Just a clarifying question. So these are 3 separate windows, is that, am I seeing this correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it looks good.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners?
Yeah, I do. Bruce, one suggestion for that sill that is probably going to be hard to duplicate. There are some 2 and 3 inch AZAC stock that you might be able to put together where you could get your pitch. I don't know if you've looked into that, but it's usually a special order, but you can get some 12-inch stock that's 2 to 3.5 inches thick. You might be able to use that as a windowsill. So think about that.
That's a great suggestion. I'm hoping to work with, obviously I'm going to be working with Sanford and Holly on that. I think that's a great suggestion because it'll avoid having the rotting out situation that we're in.
Yep. Good.
Great. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll open it up to the public. If there are any questions or comments from the public, please raise your hand and Catherine will unmute you.
Again, this is the public's opportunity to comment. If you have any comments, please raise your hand in the Zoom function. And I am seeing no raised hands.
Okay, thank you. Hearing none, can I please get a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion that we approve the application for 772 Farmington Avenue as submitted.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this motion? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye and raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say aye. Hearing none, any abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much, and thank you all. I have a quick question as a point of order. I'm just curious, is that those people who are against something, aren't they supposed to vote nay?
No.
It gets confusing with the double negative. So,
okay. I just was curious. Thank you
That's
all
fine.
very much for your,
No,
thank you all.
I think Evan did it right, but I agree.
Yeah. But thank you all very much for taking the time and effort to be on the commission. I know it's a real responsibility with not a lot of reward, but thank you guys and women.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good day. Okay, so that concludes our public hearing for today. We'll be moving on to other business. And before I turn it over to Town Councillor Connolly, I just wanted to remind everybody that the annual Farmington townwide cleanup is taking place this Saturday, April 24th. It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and you can register on the town website. There's other information on the website. I will certainly be there for a good chunk of the day, and it would be great to meet some of you folks in person, socially distanced, of course, but would be great to see some of you out there on Saturday if you have the time. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Town Councillor Connolly.
Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing?
Hi, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank
Hi,
you all
Brian.
for, hi, just wanted to say thank you all for keeping the village beautiful. The reason I wanted to speak with you real quick today is to address any questions or misconceptions about the historic building, the 1928 building, as it's called, of the original high school as part of the referendum. Now, I'm just assuming you all know what I'm talking about by now. If not, well, okay, we gotta do a better job of communicating. But the reason I wanted to talk is the original high school referendum included the demolition of the high school in it. And I just wanted to confirm that everyone is aware that that is no longer a part of the referendum. This is going to be a conversation. I'm not talking to you guys. Does everyone firm know that? Do you know that it is no longer part of the referendum to tear the building down?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I'd heard from some people that they were confused because originally it was, but we did have a discussion in town that because it's a historic building, that more time and more people needed to be involved in the discussion as to what we should do with the building at all. So the plan is we will go to referendum on the high school alone in a couple of months. The high school, the original component, the 1928 building, will not be a part of that referendum. But because the school will not be torn down for at least 2 years, that gives us time as a town and as historic commissions to have a voice in what's going to happen with the school, what we want to do, what decisions should be made. So I just wanted to confirm that everyone was aware of that, and see if there were any questions about the value, and whether it be people, just because people love the building and it is an iconic building, I wanted to make sure you knew it was not being torn down, but that it will be going to the town as a future referendum as to what to do with that building, and to see if you had any comments or suggestions about how we move this forward from a historical perspective.
Brian, it's Jay. Thank you for coming here and making sure that we're aware of the status, and I do appreciate it, because that, quite frankly, was one of my concerns with the high school referendum, was that you're right. At first, it was, the word was coming out that at least it was a high probability that they were going to tear it down. I am for preservation. I think that the building, as you say, is iconic. All I know is I did not grow up in Farmington. I actually grew up in Avon, next to Unionville. All I heard my whole life, one of my parents grew up in Unionville, was what a mistake they made when they tore down the old town hall. And, I know there's cost and I know there's all that, but I will guarantee you that within 10 years of pulling that down, at least 50% of the town's going to say what a mistake they tore down the old, beautiful, iconic high school. My mother did graduate from there, class of '59, so I've got a tie there as well. Of course, one of my children went there, as well as many people on this call may also have. I guess I'm a little I shouldn't say concerned. I guess I'm kind of questioning why it's all they're going to tear down the rest of the building at some point, or at least they're going to build a new building. But why does it even need to be a referendum? I mean, this is a building owned by the town, an asset of the town. I mean, they wouldn't have a referendum. Well, maybe they would, on tearing down any building. To me, it should simply be the town should start planning from day one what other uses it has for this building. I recognize it's going to cost money, but I think that's the town council should perhaps focus on that and not wait for 3 years for a referendum before dealing with that.
That's a great question, Jay. Thank you for that. And we as a town council felt similarly that there were there's a historic reason to preserve it. There's a sentimental reason to preserve it. There's a good use reason to preserve it. But here's why it's going to go to a future referendum. It's because we didn't have enough time to determine what we should do with the building so that it could be included in the high school referendum. And they're really two entirely separate issues to begin with. So why it would go separately to referendum would be because there are three things we can do with the building. One thing we can do with the building is to mothball the building for future use, because you know, once they start to tear it down, we would have to close it off and preserve it so that we could decide what to do later. So there's a cost associated with that. There would be, if we chose to do renovations, we'd have to determine what kind of renovations, how it would be used, what we wanted to keep, what we wanted to do. There's so many options to be discussed and considered that it would be hard for us to put that into dollars right now. Or the third option would be to just tear it down, which of course has its own cost. And if between now and the time we did the high school, we decided to tear it down, we would have to go to referendum to include the cost of demolition in there. But I don't see that as being the ultimate goal. I would love to see something there happen, but that's my personal opinion. But I would love to see there. But it is iconic in the town. I'd love to see a number of uses for it, and those are to be determined. But we would go to referendum, and there would be certainly a lot of public discussion, say for the next year and a half, I would say, sometime in that time frame to decide what we want to do and what the options would be going to referendum. So that's why I see it as not waiting for 3 years, but I'd say we have some time to put some forethought on what we want to do with the building and what needs to be done. And if we want it to be separate, do we have to do fundraising for it? Is it going to be done by the town? There are a lot of options on the table. So that's why I would say we have a couple of years to decide and discuss really what we want to do with the 1928 building.
Thank you.
But from a historical perspective, I just want to make sure that you guys were in the loop and were at the table when it came time to make those decisions and to understand why we're not doing it at this moment.
Okay, are there any questions or comments for the town councilor? Okay, thank you very much. And would anybody like to add anything else in general? Okay, Catherine or Shannon, do either of you have a staff report?
I'll just go with introducing myself again to the commission. I'm Catherine Kramer, town planner, and as Shannon mentioned in the meeting, I'm in the process of transitioning to your staff liaison. So I look forward to working with everyone and being a part of this commission and helping you all in any way I can. So that's that.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have the meeting minutes from our last regular meeting, which was on February 16th, 2021. They were sent to both me and Mr. Calciano ahead of time. I've read them and I have no changes, but I'd like to see if anybody else would like to comment or make any changes on those.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Okay, we have a motion, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye and raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
If anyone's opposed, please say aye. Hearing none, any abstentions? Hearing none. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you very much. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, please say aye. Hearing none, and any abstentions?
Thank you, Evan. Good meeting.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Very efficient.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.